12 minutes to go in normal time. Liverpool 3-0. Corner taken quickly, Origi! Yeah! Yeah! Unbelievable! Divock Origi! Oh my word! Yes! This is extraordinary.
Hello and welcome to the Redscast podcast. End of season. Finally, we have got our hands on the Premier League trophy. It's just a little bit special, is it, Steve? It's just a little bit. It feels good, doesn't it?
I've been a mess all week. Anytime I put the telly on and it shows anything, I'm just like,
yes. We finally done it.
Yeah.
It's mad though, isn't it? I mean, like, since the last time we spoke, we've played Chelsea and we've played Newcastle. We will start on the Chelsea game first and then the Newcastle game, but we can't not start without talking about Hendo doing the shuffle, doing full John Terry.
Yeah, I'm all over that. Like, it had to be him. I think even if he'd have been like seriously injured where he could barely walk, he'd have still come on.
Yeah.
And done that. And we love him for it, don't we?
Absolutely. I can't. I broke down, to be honest. I've had to watch it a few times since because I didn't go out. You know what I was saying? I was torn. I didn't end up going out because I thought, no, do you know what? I just want to experience it and on my own and just so I can just have that moment if it needs to happen. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it happened, and thankfully I didn't go to the pub because imagine being in the pub, a grown man crying. I mean, probably other people were crying as well.
Sure, you wouldn't have been the
only
one.
But it was... Oh my God, it was horrendous. Honestly, like I just broke down. My missus never seen me cry before. My dog went mad. He started licking me and was just like dead confused. But it was just the best day. It was better than you could have imagined, considering there was no fans, weren't there?
Exactly, and considering it was already won. You know, we knew it was one of them. We said it on the last one. We knew it was coming. It wasn't a what if moment. It was it's when. Happening. It's a when moment. So. I think everyone sort of surprised themselves, didn't they, about how emotional they got over it.
Yeah.
After like the night where it was won mathematically, like a month back, I think I myself thought I was like, that was it emotionally. That was the peak. That was,
Yeah.
But then it's just a whole different ball game when you see them pick that trophy up, isn't it?
It's special. It's more special than I could ever have imagined. I mean, I thought we'd lost the base until I seen Steve McMahon put it on Twitter yesterday with a picture of the base on. But I was looking into it. Apparently the base weighs more than the actual trophy. Like it weighs total similar to what the Champions League weighs, but it only weighs something like 5 either kilos or pounds, the actual Premier League. So maybe that's why the base is...
So they take it off, don't they?
Yeah, it's just so it's easier to carry in. I mean, I've seen some boss interviews of Jürgen with the trophy in his background, and it's just mad, isn't it? Like, Premier League champions.
I know. Speaking of Jürgen, have you seen what he did with Alex Ferguson?
I put it on my Facebook. It's just a definition that man is one of our own, isn't it? Like,
and Fergie took it well by the looks of it. Like, I mean,
I've grew with respect for Fergie since he's retired.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we when he was in power,
hated
whiskey nose. But, yeah, exactly, and that's always going to happen with your rival managers, fans, players, whatever. It's only like when you look back, you think, he did one hell of a job there, didn't he?
I mean, Bob Paisley's still more successful.
Yeah.
And that I've seen like United fans getting had off by that on Twitter the other day, and it was just like loads of Liverpool fans just playing with that picture of Bob Paisley, 19 trophies in 9 years, and it was good to see. But it's boss to see everyone rattled by us, isn't it? And we're fully back on our pitch. And
can I just ask you a little thing, like talking about like getting emotional, lifting the trophy?
Yeah.
Our mate Deggsy's gone. How did you feel about that?
Oh, I nearly went to town. Honestly, I seen the news. I was in work yesterday, and my mate went to me, Lovren's gone then. I was like, what? And I didn't even process. I thought it was just like the rumours, that had been flying about. Yeah. So I went on my phone, it said confirmed, and I was like, that's confirmed. Like, I was shocked. And,
it's real. It's happening.
Yeah, if I wasn't in work all night last night, I was going to town me. I mean, he's been a loyal servant to the club.
Yeah.
You can't fault him for that. I'll Dejan Lovren gave me one of the best nights out I've had as a Liverpool fan, and it was after we beat Dortmund.
Yeah, that's I think that's
Town was
the
bouncing.
pinnacle of his Liverpool career was that moment.
Yeah, I mean, Town was absolutely heaving after it. I've got selfies on my phone with these German people. Couldn't even tell you the name. They've all got Dortmund kits on, but it was just like a mutual respect because they had Jürgen. What I want to ask you is, should he have a statue?
I would say it's probably a bit early.
When's it right though? Because he is ultimately. Paisley's got a statue and Shankly's got a statue. Paisley's only got one recently.
Yeah, it's like they never got one. Although maybe it wasn't a thing back then, but they never got one at the time, did they? It was only.
I mean, I honestly, that man, when he does leave Liverpool, he deserves a statue.
Yeah, he deserves one. I don't think yet. Once he's finished the job, whatever trophy haul that may be at the end of it, I think he will get one. He will. I just don't think now's the time. I think when he leaves,
it'll be.
Yeah. I don't think he'd be. I think he's a bit too humble, isn't he, to
accept it. He says done interviews about it, but he's definitely going to get one, isn't he? Someone's going to make him one. I mean, the Redmen's just done a mural at Henderson. It's sick. Have you seen it?
Opposite Trent.
Opposite Trent, yeah. So you got the Anfield Wrap on Trent, and then Redmen done Hendo's. Hendo's is proper sick. I hope they do proper. Like, it's perfect to have them, the two English lads in the same street. Do you know what, though? I wish I had like an end. I mean, I've got it end out. If anyone wants to come and paint someone on the side.
I actually know someone who lives in that street, and I've seen pictures of, our street's boss and all that, and I was like, it really is. Yeah,
it's sick. But they must all be reds, though. I mean, I have seen Trent one get vandaled a few times, but just got cleaned.
Yeah. But, that's always going to happen. You see stupid stuff happening to Dixie Dean, and they're not. To be honest, they're not real.
They're not Liverpool fans.
No, and it's probably at this. Generally, I think most Everton fans wouldn't do anything like that.
Yeah, you'd assume so.
You would assume. It's just the idiots. You've always got idiots at every club.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got mates who are Everton fans on the side, and they've all said, like, Liverpool deserve to win the league this year, and you see the ones on Twitter all fuming. It's just like,
get over yourself. We doubled your points tally.
Leighton Baines retired, and he's not won anything in Everton. Didn't he win? Did he win something at Wigan?
No, he...
Did he not win the FA Cup with Wigan?
Oh, no, I was checking through his... who was I talking to? I think I was talking to Timo, and going through his career. He's literally won nothing. I think when Wigan won the FA Cup, he'd already gone to Everton.
Do you know what?
He's got a couple of runners up. I know he has a couple of runners up.
You probably, arguably, a few seasons ago, was one of the best left backs in the world.
Yeah, he was.
And he could have went anywhere.
When they had him and who did they have on the left wing? That South African guy, Stephen Pienaar.
Oh yeah.
So they had him and Pienaar, and they were like a great combo down that left hand side. And at that time, Baines was playing for England. He got something like 30 caps or something, 35 caps for England at a time when Ashley Cole was there.
Yeah. He's mates with Miles Kane. That's how I always liked him, because I'm proper into my music, and Miles Kane's like a phenomenal musician from the city. Yeah. And you always see him like when he's round. People skit him for how he dresses, and it's just dresses like Miles. It's funny.
Yeah, he seems like quite an intelligent guy as well, doesn't he? So
probably, I reckon he'll maybe go into
You might go into media. You'll probably find him on Sky Sports. Or
yeah,
Sport
I think
or something.
he'd probably be like
pretty
Carragher.
well spoken, isn't he?
Yeah, like Carragher. Love him, right? And Carragher's phenomenal on what he does, and I do think Baines would probably be good at that as well.
Yeah.
But
whether that's the road he wants to go down, but I think he will be quite good because he is an intelligent guy and he speaks quite well. And I can't imagine him. When you're in football for that long, it must be so hard to just say, right, I'm done with football.
Yeah. Must be horrible.
Yeah, and there's no way. I've not seen any reports of him going into coaching or doing his coaching.
I mean, I'm still waiting for my call up. I'm 25 now.
So yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath.
I might go in the Everton team. I do all right there. Even Dominic Solanke scored against them.
I know.
It's so bad.
You're looking for a keeper.
Honest to God, he is terrible. Chris Kirkland said he was one of the best he's worked with or something.
Yeah, but I think we've spoken about this and say there's Kirkland's only work with like David James or something in the past.
He is so bad. He's so cocky as well. I've seen him on a night out once, and one of my mates who's a blue went up to him and said, it was a night Liverpool beat them. I think it was like 5-2 or something. It was a few seasons ago now, though, and we battered Devon, and we was in town, and he was out, and my mate bounced over to him. I think he was hammered, like, probably shouldn't have. But he was like, "You shouldn't be out, you should be sat at home watching that game back and seeing where you went wrong," because he was absolutely terrible for them, and he was just dead cocky, and like he went up to the bar and like he pushed past people, and some like lad said to him like, "What are you doing, lad?" And he's like, "Do you know who I am?" And the lad was like, "Yeah, I do. You have fucking blue nose like that." And sorry, you shouldn't swear on Casey still have. But yeah, it was like, I don't know.
He's another one of them, like, probably average talent, but his ego's too big for who he is. Like, people, I don't think anyone should be like that. Even the best in the world, Messi, Ronaldo, Lewandowski, all that sort of.
I mean, Ronaldo's got the ego, but he's not the best. He's one of the best players in the world. So
I can't see him giving it. That, do you know who I am?
I can.
Can you?
Yeah, I can see Ronaldo doing that. Just looks like that type, doesn't he? I can't stand him, but you've got to admire how good he is. Yeah. I don't like Messi either, to be honest. I mean, Messi's very humble, but you've got to just appreciate how good they are. I mean, there's Gerrard done an interview, I don't know if you've heard it, it's like a podcast with Jermaine Genius and Gary Lineker for the BBC. He done it, got launched last week or something, and it's incredible because he was saying, like, with Messi, you've just got to appreciate how good,
just God-given talent.
Yeah, he's just absolutely unbelievable. It's a phenomenal podcast. I love listening to Stevie talk. Just because he's from Eighton. Yeah, putting Eighton on the map.
I heard the one on Carragher's podcast. He did, that was good as well. That was a while.
Yeah, I'll always have a stop for Stevie just because he put Eighton up there. Go Eighton. When I got accused of being from Birkenhead. Yeah, Heighton born and bred. But anyway, into the games. Oh, I forgot to show you. So, do you want to see how fancy we've got? Listen to this.
Go on, let's have that.
Podcast.
Wait, I'll play it again.
The Redscast Podcast.
And we've got this one as well.
Go on, then.
Watch it on YouTube. Just search Redscast Podcast.
We got Mikey. He's Casey's live source there. See, we're getting hooked up, Steve, with this radio. We're getting hooked up with some stuff.
That's the first step, isn't it? Who's next?
Yeah, who wants to sponsor us?
Get the guy off, was it X Factor or something? Rachel Adedeji, you get that guy in.
I had him on, when I done radio. I had like an X Factor vocal for my radio show, but that was years and years ago now that I got it made, so...
Imagine Matthew, oh!
It did, it's like, I can't find it, show you it one day. It says like, you say the soundboard with Matty, oh! It was sick, to be honest, even though the X Factors for Wastemen, I've worked with them before, and you don't even want to go there. Not singing, but I worked there with like when I was heavily involved in music. I got like a contract off them, and it was good, to be fair, good experience, but... con arses down. Yeah. Absolute con arses. But anyway, into the game against Chelsea, if you cast your mind back, the first thing I want to touch on isn't a Liverpool player. Christian Pulisic.
What a player.
Why did we not get him? This is what I don't understand. Before he went to Chelsea, the logic was there. Klopp had worked with him previously. He was American owners, big American player, markets in America. I mean, we're already massive in America, but it just makes you bigger, doesn't it? And
he's phenomenal. Like, he changed everything
game.
About Chelsea when he come on. He's so lively, isn't he? He's quick. He can finish. There must be more to it. It must have been down to him. He must not have wanted to come to us. Don't know why.
I don't know.
I think London might have been a draw for him. Because that's
I think when he did sign for Chelsea, I think Liverpool didn't come from because he was 50 mil, wasn't he? And like he was good in the Bundesliga, but he weren't that good. He's getting compared to Hazard now, and some of the moves he done against us in that game,
brilliant,
deserves to be compared to Hazard. Like, do you know what, the force of him, Havertz, Ziyech, and Werner running at us next year? We've got the best defence in the world, but they have got arguably one of the best. Attacking.
Our defence isn't as good anymore. We've lost the best defender in the world, haven't we, to Zenit St. Petersburg?
Oh my God. I'm so happy I don't have to mention his name again. I'm so happy. But I mean, we have been shaky at the back, but they've obviously just switched off. Like,
they're going to challenge.
I mean, Ederson finished 3 clean sheets above Alisson at the end of the season, which you'd never ever have imagine, considering how City have lost 9 games. But then you take into account that Alisson missed 11 games through injury.
Yeah.
So to still get 13 clean sheets when you've missed 11 is
Yeah.
crazy numbers. Only 3 off the top. The fact you're in contention for Golden Glove when you've missed 11 games is crazy. But still, that from attacking 5, whatever, Chelsea are going to throw at you. I mean, there could be another Arsenal. Arsenal have arguably got one of the best attack lines in the world with Pepe, Aubameyang and Lacazette. I would have loved Aubameyang and Lacazette at Liverpool before they came, especially Aubameyang. I absolutely think he's unbelievable. And if he would have come back and worked with Klopp, I think...
Yeah, sky's the limit for him, isn't it?
I don't think he'll stay there. I think we should throw a cheeky bid in, maybe 40 million and a penny.
Because they've got to win. Get smoking something. But Arsenal, they need to win that FA Cup final, don't they, against Europe otherwise?
I'm sure they do. I'm 99% sure, because I remember you said yesterday it could be the runners-up who get to.
Yeah,
but I'm 99% sure that just goes...
I think it drops down to the next league position, doesn't it?
So it would be Sheffield United, which I'd much rather Chelsea win the FA Cup, as though they win something every year, and see Sheffield United actually have a go. I mean, I like Chris Wilder. Don't mind Sheffield. I shouldn't really be saying that, because I used to have proper boss chats with John McClare from Revenant Makers, and he's proper Sheffield Wednesday. But obviously, I'd never ever be able to go to Sheffield Wednesday's ground, so it's too many emotions there, innit? And I'm happy for Sheffield United, to be honest. Chris Wilder,
good club. They've sort of done it right, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have.
And they were a dodgy goal against Villa, short of probably being in Europe anyway, weren't they?
Yeah, and apparently Jorge thingy's going to sue them. Bournemouth are trying to sue Jorge.
Cost them.
Because they're not going to be able to bounce back up down. They've got
too small. It's a miracle they were even in the Premier League.
Yeah, and if you look at some of the players they've got like Nathan Ake, he's going to go. Harry Wilson's coming back to us, and he's Premier League level.
Yeah, Ives contract's finished. So
he's nowhere.
Got Fraser's going as
Ryan Fraser could stay in the Premier League. They've got Josh King, he could play in the Premier League. They've got Karen Wilson, who could stay in the Premier League. So they're going to lose a hell of a lot of players. They've probably got a few players who will stay loyal, but some of them players are probably too good for the Championship. And why would you just go to the Championship and have loyalty when you could maybe go to, arguably, say, Josh King could maybe go to, say, United again, where he started out, and he could go and play in the Champions League next year. Why would he stay in the Championship? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I wouldn't write that move off either.
That's probably a similar situation to all 3 clubs that are going down. They're probably going to lose their best players.
I'd take Jamal Lewis from Norwich. I think it's Jamal Lewis or the left back. Yeah, I'd take him, and I'd take Todd Cantwell as well. People are
undecided on. Yeah, I'm undecided on Cantwell. He hasn't exactly. He looked okay.
Just with Lallana going really. Yeah. I think someone like Cantwell come in and say, "Yeah, I'd be happy to be like a squad player in this team, because I'm good. It's his best chance probably at winning stuff in the next few years." When you look at like Chamberlain, he was a squad player at Arsenal, but he's still a squad player at Liverpool.
Would you rather not give Curtis Jones more games?
Curtis Jones will be the captain of Liverpool Football Club one day. Mark my words. He will. Well, I was made up to see him get a.
He's next in line after Trent, isn't he?
Yeah, I was made up to see him get. Well, he's captain Trent. He's captain Liverpool. Jones. Trent hasn't. He's had a senior captaincy though. Trent
was that in the FA Cup, the League Cup, or whatever it was?
The League Cup, yeah. But he's had a senior captaincy against. It was against
was it Everton or Villa or?
It was Shrewsbury, wasn't it? When we had to play them. It was in. Was it? It was. I remember it was when we played and we got forced to play.
Yeah, it was against Villa.
Yeah, but I don't think he played in. Must have been that. Yeah, he was captain there.
Right.
So he's at the senior captaincy where Trent hasn't. So he's going to be amazing. I was made up to see him get that Premier League medal.
Yeah.
He is phenomenal. He really is phenomenal. And I mean, Harvey Elliott did get his medal. And I think everyone got medals. I think the club ordered loads because every coach and staff, and even I've seen videos of Lonergan with the Premier League medal.
Yeah.
I was thinking also the other day, so like the different stories in the dressing room and like where they've come from.
Everyone seems to love Lonergan, don't they?
Yeah, they all love him. All the players sing about him. I think he's going to end up staying as a goalkeeping coach with Achtenberg. I said down a pod a few weeks ago. But with Lonergan, you think about his story, he has been ultimately a bottom of the football tier keeper playing in like League 2. I think he's got in the Championship, hasn't I think he was in the Championship. Was it with Preston?
Yeah, Preston.
And he's won the Premier League, the Club World Cup, and the Super Cup.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
you look at people and the personalities, and obviously we don't see everything as fans, but you see what other footballers say about him and that, and you think that guy just deserves it, just because he's such a nice guy, and no one ever seems to say a bad word about him or anything. And obviously he hasn't really had an appearance or anything for us.
He's never played. I think he's been on the bench. When Alisson was injured, he was on the bench. You know, when Adrian was playing, he was on the bench then. So I suppose ultimately when them 11 weeks that Alisson was out, he was ultimately training Adrian, wasn't he? So he has been part of the squad, so he rightfully does deserve the medal, which is what Klopp was saying.
Yeah. It's not all about being on the pitch. Yeah.
It's about what... I think the cooks and cleaners should get a medal as well. Everyone talks about them. They're in Stevie's book, they're in Carragher's book. Have you seen Robbo's doing a book as well?
Is he, yeah?
He's doing a book about talking about like the moments from the Champions League win to now, of like things that's happened in the dressing room, just all stuff. And it's like he put a video on Twitter of like him talking about it. So obviously he spoke what's happened, and it's been transcribed into a book.
Oh wow! See, I would 100% be reading that book in his accent in my head.
Yeah,
I'm terrible. Like I read Dalglish's book, and I couldn't even understand myself.
It's just, I love him, mate.
Yeah,
absolutely love him. But yeah, anyway, back to the Chelsea game. It was a good game, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 50-50 possession. We both had 10 shots. The ratings are pretty much the same. Pass succession was pretty much the same. Yeah. Dribbles was the same. Tackles, we had more tackles than them. We had 6 corners, they had none, which I'm thankful for because Giroud, I mean, he did manage to get a goal. But Chelsea need to fix that defence. When I'm looking at it, even now,
they've scored 3 away goals and lost the game.
Yeah,
which is like you'd be
crazy. I mean, that first goal that pass was just sublime. Yeah, you couldn't fault us for it. And then I'm thinking of the wrong game. Yeah,
you're talking about Shelby's, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, my head's chocker. But yeah, in this game, Keita. That's what I was meant to say. Naby Keita, absolutely unbelievable yet again.
Goal was a rocket, wasn't it?
Yeah, an absolute rocket. Trent's unbelievable yet again.
That was picture perfect to the other free kick he scored
against Palace.
Yeah, like
absolutely
just the same.
Speaking about free kicks, though, have you seen Sky have done that? Mason Mount, he scored a free kick on the weekend, and they've got a video of him showing the Sky Sports cameras when he's in the Chelsea Academy how to take a free kick,
and it's like the same,
the exact same.
Yeah,
and it's good to see stuff like that, like kids.
You see the training pays off or whatever.
Yeah, but Trent's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
Like, you throw 2 keepers in goal, they're not getting it.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's good to see Ronaldo go on the score sheet. Good to see Bobby in the last home game get his name on the score sheet at Anfield.
He said that as well.
Yeah, Bobby's the system, isn't it? We noticed Darren Moore in the Newcastle game, which I'll touch on it later on. Trent did get man of the match, rightfully so, in the game. There's not much I'd say we done wrong in it, really. Curtis Jones obviously got his 5th appearance. Don't think he had a bad game. Minamino. He was better in the Newcastle game, which we'll move on to, because the Chelsea game was pretty just... I didn't really pay attention.
No.
I was just 90 minutes.
All the focus was on what's going on afterwards, and I think after we went 3 up, I think even the players' heads just sort of went a bit, and that's why we ended up conceding.
I mean, imagine just sitting there looking at that platform for like 90 minutes, and I'm lifting that Premier League trophy, and you just want it to end, don't you, and lift the trophy and be able to just have a bevy.
That was probably one of the longest games they've ever played, mentally, like, because you speak to footballers, and if they're enjoying the football, the final whistle comes too fast. Like, they don't even realise it's been 90 minutes, but I think against Chelsea, it was probably a case, they were probably clock watching.
Yeah, waiting.
Yeah.
The Newcastle game was a bit mad. I mean, I couldn't. I was out, so I was watching it on my phone, and I was just literally, I just put it on, and then I seen that they had this free kick, because I was out, so I was driving, so I missed like the build up and that. And then Shelby just done this ball, and I was just like, wow, it's got to be offside.
I hadn't even sat down. I hadn't even
it was 27 seconds or something, wasn't it?
I think I come in and it was like 2.5, 3 minutes, and I was like, what, 1-0 already? I was like,
crazy. I mean, it was Nico playing on one side, but obviously he's a young lad.
It's experience.
Yeah, obviously it's a learn. We are very good at playing the offside trap, but it's going to come. It will come. He's still overall had a good game. I think Williams. Obviously he come off for Trent, and Trent is just Trent, isn't he? Yeah. He's just world class, but. He did have a good game.
Apart from that one little thing. But again,
I forgot as well.
Experience, isn't it?
Until about 60 minutes when he made a pass. Javier Manquillo plays for them.
Yeah.
He was playing for us. I didn't even know. Because obviously I'd missed all the build-up on that. I knew he was playing for Liverpool. But I didn't pay attention. I never pay attention to the opposition team, really. And because I just knew the only ones really that I was worried about in the Newcastle team was St. Maximin, because if he's in the mood, he wasn't in the mood. But if he was in the mood...
Shelby's always a danger as well. Yeah. He was for 30 seconds or so. Yeah, wasn't he,
but with Maxim, he's either on it and world class or very far apart. So he does need to improve them. But it was good to play a Newcastle team now and see what they are, say, come first game of next season, being the last team to play them. I have a lot of respect for Newcastle. I don't mind Geordies. I mean, one of the second years I went to Leeds with my mates, we were camping right by these Geordies, and to be honest with you, they made the weekend. They were boss, and
they're very similar to us, aren't they? From a similar
to Glasgow. They're all
Port City and working class mostly, and
it's boss, and they do deserve success in the football club, because I couldn't begin to imagine, and touch wood, it never happens, that Liverpool get relegated, and they've been through hell. Them having Mike Ashley as their owner, they've been through absolute hell, and you do feel for them. You really do feel for them. I mean, I believe...
They've got the potential, haven't they? They've got...
Look what he done in the summer, Ashley. He sacked Rafa to get Steve Bruce in. Now, imagine you're a Newcastle fan. You have the Newcastle Geordies, probably 40% of them, 50% of them do have a lot of respect for Liverpool, and they've got Rafa. Rafa Benitez is at Newcastle. He was in the Championship a few years ago, and now if they have got a manager who has won Champions League. He's won everything the game has to offer. He is world class in his own right.
He won La Liga with
Valencia.
That's
when Barca had Xavi, Iniesta, Messi,
and then he had Real Madrid there as well, and Atletico Madrid, and they were all.
Didn't he have David Villa when he won the league with them?
To be fair, they had a decent team.
They had David Villa and David Silva, and they had Silva as well, didn't they?
But coming up against Barcelona is just a different...
But they had Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, probably
best team in the world, arguably.
Yeah, arguably, and probably Madrid probably had your Zidane, your Carloses. So
yeah, they had the Galacticos at the time.
Yeah, so you can understand what an achievement it is, and I do feel sorry for Newcastle fans. I mean, starting Dwight Gale up front. I mean, Joe Linton hasn't been phenomenal this year.
It took a while to get going.
I think Joe Linton's he's come from Hoffenheim, and I think he was a number 9 at Hoffenheim, but I do think he's probably going to be, if they played him similar to Bobby, it'd probably be more effective, because he's
they're expecting a typical old-fashioned Newcastle number 9.
And someone said it on the commentary. I mean, BT Sport, they need to learn Minamino's name isn't Minamino and not Minamina. It drove me mad for 90 minutes. It really did. It's so easy. There's no A at the end of his name. No. There's an O for a reason. But anyway, the front three didn't work, but it's because they're all new. But someone said that was it. Someone said on BT on the commentary, the shirt number on your back doesn't mean nothing in today's game, and he's probably right. I mean, you've got Joe Gomez who's at 12, and for me, I'd be like, that should be a midfielder's number. Do you know what I mean? And if you're being technical, a 6 should be a midfielder, and that was Lovren. Do you know what I mean? And 9, Firmino is not a number 9. Firmino is more of a number 10.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. That's just it's a squad number now, not a position.
Yeah, but you think even Michael Owen was a number 10, and he wasn't a number 10. He was more of a number 9. So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that front three, I was interested to see it. I think they would probably have got more success if they played Origi on the left and Minamino down the middle, though, than playing Minamino. No, they changed it throughout the game, and Minamino ended up being on the left.
Did he?
And Origi ended up being down the centre.
Oh, okay.
And
I know he started on the left, Origi, didn't he? And then he got his goal from cutting in from the left.
Yeah, so
he must have just been fluid.
Throughout, which is good to see. Wijnaldum had a boss game. Milner potentially maybe his last game for Liverpool. Yeah. He was good. Keita again, probably didn't have his best game, but he was still
just solid. Right?
He needs to start. He needs to start next season. Yeah. He needs to be one of the first names on the team sheet, like Van Dijk. He providing his fit and stuff. Van Dijk did get man of the match again. His header. I think, do you reckon he was annoyed Robbo scored an absolute screamer for header?
He's like, yeah, I'm not having that.
I need to beat it by the end of the year, because what a header. It was so, like...
Thumping, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just dipped, and it was just...
Oh, no, it wasn't a thumping one.
It was
It was the looping one, wasn't it?
one into the corner. You can tell we've had a drink since we won the league, right?
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, it was perfectly placed.
Perfect. Robbo, 2 assists on the day.
Yeah.
25 assists we've had now.
Fullbacks, isn't it?
From fullbacks this season.
I'd seen on it must have been BT Sport or Sky Sport or something. They were showing like the assist table, and obviously like De Bruyne is top.
Yeah. So
you got a City player, and you got Liverpool player, Liverpool player, Liverpool player.
Yeah, there's Trent, Robbo, and Salah.
Yeah.
Salah's got 10. Yeah. That's just from fullback, left back, and right back. 25 assists in one season.
And I've seen people saying about Wijnaldum. 0 assists in 2 years.
I don't care. Wijnaldum could go for a coffee if he wants. We've got fullbacks getting 25 assists.
When you've got fullbacks doing that.
Yeah, people don't appreciate the Liverpool team, how it works. Every player does his own role. Like with Wijnaldum, does the pass, like being rumoured. Then I think
Bobby doesn't get all the goals, but he's there the glue.
Yeah, so it... And you could tell, when that front three come on, oh my God, they look sharp.
Yeah.
They've now got... ultimately till the 12th of September till the season starts. I mean, there's a round.
There's talk of us being a little bit later because of Europe.
No, that's not us. Just City. That'll be City.
That seems to be in Europe now.
Yeah, so it'll be City, Chelsea, United, and Arsenal. Are they not in Europe anymore? I don't know. Whoever is in Europe will be having a late start to see Wolves. But yeah, so they'll be starting late, but ultimately they're going to have a 10-day rest from so hypothetically, if City gets the Champions League final, they will have a 10-day rest till the start of the season. That is boss.
Yeah, that's boss for everyone else.
Because we are now off till the 12th of September. Ultimately, there's a few.
Well, he's getting back to training in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. So obviously the podcast won't be here for 2 weeks. But then hopefully,
unless anything massive happens in the transfer.
Unless Liverpool sign Kylian Mbappe on August the 1st on Saturday when Nike's announced.
And then we're all partying.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably talk a little bit on the Nike kit, but it's just mad. Like, that front three, they come on, wow. I've never seen it.
I want to show you something talking about the Nike kit. I'll send you it and you might be able to put it up because it is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that tracky.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it.
It's just...
I do like it. I like the turquoise green. I'm a bit of a snob over the colour, like bluey green on the kits. I'm just remarking that. I'm a little bit funny over the colour green on the footy kit.
See, I'm colourblind anyway, so anything that's in between green and blue, I couldn't tell you what it is anyway. So just look. See, that looks very green to me. That doesn't even look like a hint of blue in that.
Yeah, it's like a greeny blue.
Yeah.
It's very similar to what you call one. You wouldn't even know. It's very similar green to remember this year's third kit with the Liverpool signage as the images.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's very similar to that. But yeah, the front three when they come on against Newcastle, they look sharp. I do open on them disembark. I'm gutted for Mo that he's lost his best mate. But I hope it doesn't disembark him. He hit that shot when he hit the crossbar. That would have been a scorcher of a finish, wouldn't it? Bobby managed to get an assist. I think it was 2 assists. Oh no, 1 assist because Robbo got 2, didn't he? No, Robbo got 2. Robbo assisted technically Divock.
Yeah.
As a technicality because there was the pass before and then Van Dijk he crossed it in, didn't he? I think. Yeah, and then Bobby assisted Manny. So Robbo got 2. But yeah, I'm gutted the season's over. If I'm completely honest, I'm absolutely devastated the season's over. I just never wanted it. I did want it to end, but I didn't want it to end.
And it's weird though, because we had a massive break from it, didn't we?
Yeah.
And as like it's just starting off, and it was just getting like you getting used to watching the footy
Players
again.
Are starting to get energetic again,
and
I was took away from us again.
Yeah.
I mean, the Scottish footy's back on Saturday. I might follow that because there's nothing else on. Sometimes I watch it for Stevie's team, Rangers, see how they're doing, but I feel like he needs to do something up there this year anyway.
He needs to win something.
Yeah.
Because the Rangers fans will only put up with that for so long.
They love him, you know. They absolutely love him.
But they love winning as well.
I think they've come to the realisation the money up there, it's because they've been out of the top for so long, it's so hard for them to catch Celtic. it's borderline impossible for them to catch Celtic.
He's got to win a cup or do well in Europe.
Well,
they get a good run in Europe.
Getting rid of Morelos. He's going to Sevilla or Seville. Sevilla, yeah, Sevilla. Yeah. He's going there. They've accepted.
I mean, as good as he was for them, he was also a liability, wasn't he? So
he was very much similar to Suarez.
Maybe they need someone a bit more stable who, hasn't quite got that fire, but also won't get sent off 5 times in a season. It's
whether he can replace his goals, because he was a goal scorer, I mean, obviously...
Unless he's got his eye on Divock.
Take him. The amount of tweets that was saying about how bad he was and he scored that screen. But I think Divock's past it now. I think he had his season after winning the Champions League. Klopp couldn't sell him after what he'd done last year for us.
And you can only talk about potential for so long. He just didn't...
Yeah, I mean, that picture of him as well, looking at the Kop, I think he knows. I think he knows it. I mean, I'd always thank him for the memories he gave me. The best weekend of my life in Madrid. Getting us to Madrid. It was phenomenal. And then that winner against Tottenham. Wow.
Goal against Everton. He's had, what? If you rack up all the balls he's done for us, he'll always be remembered.
I've seen someone on Twitter say the word legend gets thrown about too much by Liverpool. But for me, right, how can you not say any single person who has played a part in the Premier League's winning squad this season is not a Liverpool legend? Because nobody else has done it. Nobody else has done it. We had the Legends games, and who was it? The last time we played Legend, Glenn Johnson played.
Not a legend.
Now, how is he a legend of Liverpool? He has only won, what did he win us? The League Cup? That's it?
I mean, to call an ex-player a legend is a bit of a stretch, isn't it? Just because he's once played for us.
But every single one of these players are legends for this club. They can't knock it. Jurgen Klopp is an absolute legend. He's up there with Shankly and Paisley. And I'll fight anyone who says that are different, because how can you not say that now? Shankly and Paisley, they've done it consistently over years and years. Paisley was probably is a lot more successful than Shankly, but people don't realise it.
But Shankly did a better job getting them.
Shankly laid the foundations and Paisley built it. Similar to how people could argue Brendan Rodgers laid our foundations and got us in our attacking mindset, and then Jurgen's come in and just revitalised the team. Absolutely, it was a mid-table team when he left. When Rodgers left, he lost the plot. Similar to Leicester, they only needed 6 points, I think, after lockdown, or 9 points, and he ended up 6th. Or 5th. United ended up 3rd. Wow.
Fair play to them.
I wouldn't. Nah.
I'd never have guessed it, but
I just still like Bruno Fernandes. If you're listening to the chairman of Real Madrid, Bruno Fernandes wants to move. He is horrible. It's horrible to have him on United. Be at United. Do you know when United signed Cristiano Ronaldo, we got heavily linked at Liverpool, didn't he? Yeah. I mean, Bruno Fernandes did get linked, but you always knew it was probably going to be United.
Was that Phil Thompson's fault, wasn't it? We never got him. Phil Thompson said he's not good enough.
I don't know.
I'm sure that's right. There's someone at the club, and I'm sure it was Phil Thompson. They went to look at him and said,
I think they wanted more than what we'd pay. I think we only wanted to pay 7.75 or something stupid, and United were going to pay 15. Or it was. I remember.
There's more to it. I mean, because we had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Something got in the way.
But when he started playing for United, you just had that horrible feeling in your stomach, and it's just like. It's like with De Bruyne, do you know what I mean? I know we would never have a link to him, but you see him and you just...
But can you imagine the Chelsea fans looking at him and going...
Chelsea must feel sick losing De Bruyne and Salah, because Salah's numbers don't lie. 29
His numbers at Chelsea were nothing.
Well, he had 29 goal contributions this season with goals and assists in the Premier League. That's just stupid numbers for a wing. People forget Mo Salah's a wing.
Yeah. He's not even a striker, is he?
No, he's a right winger, and he's getting 19 goals and 10 assists in a season.
You see how hard he was trying to score against Newcastle as well?
Yeah.
Just trying to get that 20th goal for the 3rd season running.
It was...
He hit the slash one against the post, didn't he?
Yeah, it was... I do you know what, right? I've learned to proper appreciate Mo Salah in recent weeks, since lockdown and that. I just love watching a game and watching how he does it, and he's just phenomenal.
What he brings to the team is you see the difference when he comes on. It's like he stays wide and he drags, he takes the attention of a couple of players and he changes the shape of the opposition because they've got to drop a couple of yards knowing that the minute this ball comes over the top or whatever, he's off.
Yeah. But with Mo as well, though he was trying so much against Newcastle, you could tell he was he was trying, but he was like not thinking. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause he had that shot and some of the movements.
He wasn't playing as blinkered. You
yeah.
could see he wanted the goal.
Because I think it's because he knew he weren't going to get 4 goals because he had been benched and he weren't going to get 4 goals. So
he was a bit more relaxed about it.
He just took the stress off himself, and rightfully so.
The times where he did take shots, you would expect a forward to take a shot in that position. It wasn't like he was shooting from silly angles and shooting where there was a better pass on or anything like that. He played all right when he come on. Like I say, the front three
just change games, don't they?
It just shows you like how much you should appreciate them.
I know. I think us as fans need to appreciate Salah more. I'm not saying we don't, but I feel like he's underappreciated. I mean, my player of the year this year is Mane.
Mane, of course.
Mane is the best player in the world. And I mean that. I do mean that. If you take Mane out of this Liverpool team, I don't think we win the league.
Hard to say. Like, it's so easy to say that after we've won it with them, isn't it?
Hendo is the official Football Writers Player of the Year.
Yeah, a lot of people are giving Mane the plaudits, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, people are fuming De Bruyne didn't get Player of the Year. I mean, Klopp. Yeah, probably Pep. I'm sure where Pep was saying Liverpool about can win the Manager of the Year. Saying like I'd probably be a good Liverpool manager because he've won the league, but when I win the league, I don't win it.
He's just a bit twisted.
It was bloody Chris Wilder who won it last year. It wasn't even a Premier League manager.
I think that quote was more about players, the Player of the Year.
He's so. I think he's hasted ever since Gerrard ran past him years ago. When he played against each other, he was just like celebrating, like in front of him.
Something deep rooted there. He just hates.
Yeah, I hate him as well, little baldy egghead. Honestly, I'm made up Barca are crumbling because I just think they're going to call him back.
Yeah.
And he'll do what... let's be honest, if Barca are on the verge of losing Messi and that this year...
They've got to do something drastic, haven't they?
Yeah, to fix it.
Because Messi's not got many years left in him.
No, not many at all. The only footy we've really got to look forward to now is Champions League. Who's going to win it?
Real Madrid.
Do you think they're going to come back against City?
Yeah.
They've been in good form, like, haven't they?
I don't know. I can just see them winning it.
Is Hazard fit again? Or is he still injured?
I don't know. He's still...
They've been in heavy form. They've come back and smashed the league and won it, like, haven't they?
I think they've hit form at a good time. So I just can't see anyone else.
Do you think, right, do you know with the whole Bale thing, with them standing away for you, and do you think if Zidane played them against City, he'd be like, I've got a point to prove, the Premier League fans are going to be watching, clubs are going to be watching, I'm going to absolutely, like he done against us in the Champions League final, just come on and thought, do you know what, I'm going to play how I can actually play, because take nothing away from Gareth Bale, he is one of the best footballers in the world when he wants to be. When
he turns it on. I think when he first sort of broke onto the scene, he was more of a kick and run guy, wasn't he? Where he just kick it past the defender and just leg it, like because he was so fast. But he's improved his game, his finishing. Considering he was a left back at Southampton at the start of his career, or whenever it was, he was a left back at Southampton. And now he's like a forward for Real Madrid.
I just think the smartest move from Madrid would be to play him because they're going to sell him this year. I mean,
are they though?
Why would they keep him? He just obviously doesn't want to be...
Because are they just stubborn? They're digging their heels in and going, well...
But then he's just like, don't want to play for you, I'll just play golf for him. He was a kid the other day on the bench.
Yeah, it's a waste of a good player, isn't it?
A proper waste. Because...
You'd think...
I say that, I'm saying that, I'd love him to stay there because I don't want to come back to Prem because he would never end up at Liverpool, and I don't want him to be in another team because he does have that much quality to the point you could probably win the league with someone like him in your team. If you added him to City, they probably would have won the league this year.
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't. I don't know what was mad? My mates, issues with defensive.
My mates, we had at the beginning of the season, we had a prediction. Do you know who'd win the league?
Yeah.
And there was only like me and one other mate who said Liverpool. Everyone else went for City. I mean, I put Everton in my top 4.
What were you smoking that day?
We won't talk about that. But yeah, I put Everton in my top 4.
Was that because they had Ancelotti?
I think so, because I expected them to come back and be like this I thought like they got Ancelotti, they're just gonna. I was worried about Everton. I'll be honest, I was honestly worried about Everton at the start of the season, and you watched them. The highlight I have seen the highlights on Match Today against Bournemouth, and it was just like, wow, you're just so bad.
Do you know what? I kind of feel a bit sorry for Evertonians because
I've got Bruno's mate who
it must be so depressing.
You know as well as I do. Monday to the weekend, when there's no Champions League on, you're just waiting for that weekend for the footy to be on. You just want the footy on. And the past few weeks has been boss, obviously. Every other day has been footy, but imagine as Everton fans, man, like, I'm 25 and I have seen my club win everything. I can't see them win unless another trophy gets made that I haven't seen them win. I have seen them win everything, and I'm 25. Now I've got mates the same age. I
think that's a participation trophy for the Evertonians.
Yeah, and they've never won that. And imagine how much pain that must be, because they've definitely got the foundations to be a big club, because they've got the same type of fans as us, the passionate.
And on top of that, not only like are they not winning anything, they're not. I know this sounds a bit mad. They're not even fighting relegation. Where
they're just surviving in the league.
At least if they were fighting relegation, they'd have some excitement. Do you know what I mean? Like something to get you going, something to play for.
Well, if there's any Everton fans listening now, I might divide a lot of opinion, but I'm going to ask you a question. I didn't think that. I seen it on Twitter. I wish I could remember where I seen it. It was just when I was scrolling through one night. Someone said Everton will not be a success as a football club while they continue to be the people's club. Because
they need to. You look at Liverpool. You compare it to Liverpool and how much now Liverpool is a business, and Everton don't want to be seen as that.
They just want to be seen as like
model or whatever. They want to be seen as, we look after our people, and we're
Everton do a lot for this city.
That's great. That's good.
You're not never knock them. They've done so much for this city.
It's very, very difficult to then go on and be a successful, world-class, multi-million-pound asset or whatever.
It's mad, because if you think about it, they've got the foundations.
Yeah.
They've got
a massive fan base.
They've got a massive fan base, as passionate as us.
Yeah.
Liverpool fans won't like me saying that, but at the end of the day, the Scousers.
Yeah.
Scousers are the same people. We look out for each other. We're passionate. We wear our arse on our sleeve, and whether you're blue or a red, you're a Scouser at the end of the day. So they've got the same breed of fans as us, the same morals and stuff like that. Obviously, they have outsiders, and so do we. But the core group of the fans is Scouts, and it's the same as us. They've got a world-class manager.
Yeah.
Apparently a billionaire owner, but the blue billionaires just seem to spend it shockingly. Like, you look at some of the players. There's a lad who was playing in League One, I've mentioned before, Liam Walsh for Coventry. Unbelievable, got goal of the season. Unbelievable. He was too good for League One, but he went down there, bossed the league, and got Coventry promoted, basically. They absolutely adore him over there. So now he's going to play in the Championship with Coventry, might leave. Could probably play in the Prem in a few years. Joe Williams at Wigan could probably play in the Prem for, like, Aston Villa or something. And these are better options than what they've got. You look at
they've got Morgan Schneiderlin, and they've got...
Yeah, but you look at the lad who's in Schalke.
Yeah,
John Joe Kenny. And they've loaned him out, and I do feel sorry for Everton fans. Like,
and they're struggling
they've
with
got the foundations to be, and I don't think they should. I mean, it's hard for them to expand given where they are, but they should just do what Liverpool do and just buy all the houses around it and just buy yours. You'll charge them a fortune. But that's what they should do, and expand what's their home. Like, when I think about it now, if when Hicks and Gillette if they were still here and we moved into that stadium, it just wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, it takes away the
look at
the memories and the
Arsenal have been terrible since they left Highbury, and like,
there's no point in putting that clock up at one end just to make them feel at home.
No, and the thing is, if you're going to move stadium, I personally think it needs to be very smart about it. Like, if you look at Anfield, you've got in the Kop, you've got like block like 3 or 4 and stuff like that, where the atmosphere is, and within that block, people have been sat there for years. Like, if I go and sit on my uncle's season tickets and stuff,
I mean, like, friendships are created.
Like when my dad used to sit next to my uncle's, round there, even when I was a kid, and I was like 6, it was in the lower Senny. And it was like just by the halfway line, and even if I'd go, I knew everyone sat round there, because my dad had had that season ticket for years, and it was just like, when you move stadiums, you're separating this core group.
Who knows who's going to sit where, and then you've got the fella who...
So the atmosphere only works because everyone's together. Like, let's not be stupid and say the whole Kop is on its feet bouncing week in, week out, because it's not. The atmosphere at Liverpool this year has been shocking. By the Champions League games, the atmosphere.
There's certain games.
The United game, wow. But in terms of like when you think there's a few. I went to the Norwich game, first game of the season. I've to be honest with you, I only missed one game this season. I think it was the United game.
Oh, that was for a reason, that wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the reason why I didn't go. But that's the only game I've missed, I think, this year. And the atmosphere has been, I think back, and I remember when we played Sheffield United, I was in the upper Anfield Road, and we were shocking the support. And they were singing like, you're champions of League One, you'll never sing that. And I thought Sheffield United fans were dead funny, but I think the atmosphere, like, it shows that when people sit next to each other, I think the atmosphere
that's one of them. That's kind of a price you pay for being successful, because you get the
day outers.
The day outers come, and nothing against that.
Nothing against it, apart from a few I've sat next to this year. Like, you know what, I wish I could have a bevy watching the Reds, but you can't. You can drink it in the concourse, you know what I mean? And I was sat in the Anfield Road in the upper.
I think they need to trial letting people drink.
Oh, I don't know. You know, like.
I mean,
I don't know.
Look at it, like, I've been to rugby matches and whatever, and it's different kind of people and whatever. But
I'm saying I don't know, because I don't want them to, because I'd end up an alcoholic.
People who are really going to have a bevy are going to drink more before the game.
But do you not think it'd bring back the football violence from years ago? Because that seems to calm down. So pretty much, but you don't really hear about it at all.
No.
But I mean, like, there were the day out fans. I had someone one was bladdered arguing with the stewards, giving the steward jibbing.
No,
you just like, come on, the stewards, leave them alone and let them watch the game as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, wherever I've sat this year, you've seen it's just been like proper some genuine people, and this one fella just stands out. I think he was from Ireland. And he went the whole game slagging players off. What like made a misplaced pass, and it was just the upper Anfield Road's horrendous. Yeah. Like, it's horrendous for people who just want to slag the team off. Like, if you wanna go in here who they don't like, who's going to be slagged off on Twitter that night, go and sit in the upper Anfield Road. Honestly, and it's sad because that's meant to be for like kids and stuff as well, and dad and lads and that. Dad and lads when you're 25. But there is the odd few kids up there, and you want them to. Like,
you want them to feel like
how we felt when we
come away
first
with a
went
negative. Like,
I'm lucky. The first match I went to was on the Cop. I'm very, very lucky. With my first match was the Anfield Road. When I was sat there, and I can just hear the away fans more than I can hear our own support. I wouldn't have like thought the match was as thrilling as it was.
See, I was too young to remember my first match. I've got early memories.
Yeah,
from like the early 80s, but I was a kid.
I just like. I feel I hope next year, because we haven't won the league in front of fans, I hope the atmosphere is bouncing next year. I think it will be.
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly.
I think
the first couple of games.
Do you think the atmosphere now has always been like? Because do you think like, I know obviously, say for example we give the ball away and fans groan and stuff like that, the players here because everyone groans collectively. Do you think that like the fan? What the question I want to ask is, do you think the support will be different now that we've won the Premier League, because that weight has just been lifted off the team?
I would say at first, I think the first couple of games, it'll be positive. It'll be, back in the team. I think after a couple of games, if it doesn't go perfect, and by perfect I mean we smashed them 5-0 both games, people will sort of slip back into their old ways.
Yeah, we have got a bad fan base sometimes, haven't we?
Yeah. It's say,
like, you know what, though,
we've all got the right to give it.
The core group of our fans are boss. Do you know, like, they really are boss, and you know who the core group of fans are, like the ones who you see all the time, the ones who are like, you see people on Twitter, and like the ones who basically have Mo Salah as the Twitter picture, or buddy, they have a player as the Twitter picture, or Salah and Mane. They sit there slagging the team off, and you're like, you aren't fans of the team, you are fans of the player.
Yeah.
And that does me head in, to be honest. Like, if you're going to support the player, you support the buddy team as well.
Yeah,
you don't sit there talking about, like, there's a Mo Salah fan account on Twitter that supports Chelsea, and it's just like
no words for that.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, stop putting a bad name, swagging our players off, tagging the players in tweets and that, and it's just like, I'd love to follow you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just, it does me head in so much. But yeah, end of the season. What we're going to do as well with the podcast is we've we decided that every season is going to be a new season. Doesn't really change much for how you listen to the podcast. It's still the same everywhere, but it's just from
easier to find episodes.
Yeah, so basically the first season that we done was this season. We started in the middle of the season, and then every season from now. So next podcast we do will be season 2, episode 1. Just because ultimately this season's now finished, and anything that we buy and stuff goes into next season. We're under a new era. We've got Nike coming in on Saturday. Is it 1st of August, Saturday?
1st of August is, Saturday.
Saturday. I know that Nike have been filming today because Chelsea Grimes put on Twitter that she's going shooting for Nike and Liverpool today. So I know that I think you'll probably start seeing a few more weeks leading up to it.
Yeah. So that track I've just shown you is one that I've seen today.
Yeah, I can't wait, mate. It's just gutting, and now it comes out a few days before I get paid, because I know I'm going to get rinsed when I get paid for this training gear. Because Nike stuff's boss as well. It's
quality of it's good as well.
I hate to say it, but I got a few Nike stuff the other week. I always wear Under Armour, represents. But starts to get. Do you know what? I know loads of Scouse lads and I know loads of people wear Nike. I just don't. I like Under Armour, like the way it feels. It washes everything, all the adulty stuff. But I got a few Nike stuff the other day, and it's better than Under Armour. You know, I think I'm making a switch. I think I'm gonna gradually start switching. But I got it just because I was like, I walked straight back to the New Balance shop. It's like, but I went in the Nike shop, and it was boss, and it was sick. I was in Cheshire Oaks, and I had an absolute time of my life.
I do like Nike boots.
Yeah, I've got a.
I do. To be fair, I mostly go for Adidas.
I've got Nike.
They're more comfortable Adidas.
I have
find,
Nike Mercurials myself.
I think the Nike have got better designs.
Yeah, I have Mercurial, bright pink, a luminous pink Mercurials. I've got.
You're not that good a player. We can get away with it.
Exactly. So I turn up.
You should be in plain black.
When I turn up, when people like, obviously I don't really play footy that much, but when I do, I put my pink boots on, and people who've never seen me play football must think, he's going to be good in. And I'm absolutely
You're already
shocking.
on the edge.
I mean, I'm not terrible. I've got a good left shot that comes out once a year. Ask Tim about it. It'd break your hand if you tried to stop it, I think. I think my left foot, if I would have enjoyed playing football more when I was a kid, I probably would have been half all right. But I was more of a basketball type of person. Off the back of my brother playing basketball with Anthony Walker, which I just want to touch on. Did you see his thing yesterday?
I haven't watched it yet. I seen it was coming on. I thought I'm not ready for that yet.
It was hard for me. I mean, I'm thankful I don't live at home anymore, to be honest, because like my mum obviously knew his mum and stuff. My brother was his best mate, so it must have been hard for him to watch, and the ending's horrible, but it's a good watch, you know.
I'm not ready for it.
It's emotional even talking about it. Like, it's just mad. I mean, some of the stuff they include in it is mad, but I'm not going to say stuff bad about it. That's just me thinking with my television head on, like things I think I should have been improved and that, but it was phenomenal to watch, and
it's good when it can. I mean, obviously it's a horrific real life thing that happened, but it's good that it can grip you through the TV. Like
it was gripping. It was boss. I was one of the. I had the remote in front of me, pausing it because I was eating my tea and like rewinding it back, so I didn't miss anything. It was boss to having known him.
Yeah,
it was good to see
that, like, personal connection.
What could have happened with him, which is. I think he would have been a lot more successful than what he made out as well. I think they were very humble. He was a very, very talented lad, to be honest. And may he rest in peace. I think it's on the 30th, because he died the day after my brother's birthday. He's 15 years this year. My brother's 33. 15 years.
Yeah, I've seen a few people on Twitter talking about it, and I was like, I will get round to watching it.
It's unbelievable. I mean, when you're watching, you'll be just watching it and knowing what's happened.
Yeah, no, I haven't got that personal.
Yeah, so you'll probably enjoy it a lot more than like with me, when I know like through my brother all names associated and that with them. So when you hear names get changed, it throws you off a bit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to ruin anything for you, but when you've watched it, I'll speak to you about it. It's mad, like some of the things that he did change in it, that you just question, but.
Yeah, like what's the point in changing that?
Yeah, like keep it as real as you can. Just even down to stupid things, like I feel like they should have used the actual park. Well, it's one of them, isn't it? But yeah,
TV, innit?
Nice one as always. Coming on. Champions of England this season's done. What are we aiming for? Come on, let's lay our cards on the table.
Go on, yeah, I'll tell you what. Name your top 4 for next year in order. And we'll revisit this at the end of next season. See how close we get.
Okay.
Number 1.
This is hard to pick based on you don't know who they're going to buy. Liverpool.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do it now, and then we'll do it again at the beginning of the season when all the transfers are through and see if it changes. So you're going for Liverpool top?
Yeah. I need one. I've got a pen. The one behind there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right, we're going to write it down.
Just write it on your hands.
So I'm going to do... I'll put it on the screen for you folks watching. So my top 4 is going to be Liverpool.
Yeah.
United.
Interesting.
City.
Yeah.
See, it's mad because I would go bold now and say Leeds because I feel like they're gonna come back with a bang, you know. But who they buy if they get someone like James?
You can change it in a couple of weeks.
Okay, so from starting on the squads that they've got now, from players I already know that they've signed and stuff. Because I mean, City have just bought a bloody reject from Crewe or something, who's never got a game for them. Liverpool, United, City, Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going United above City because I am in the position where I feel like Pep's going to go.
Okay.
If you don't win the Champions League, I think they would have won nothing this year, would they? The League Cup, that's it.
So my top 4 are the same teams in a different order.
Yeah.
So I'll go Chelsea first.
Do you think Chelsea win the league?
I think so.
Wow.
Us second.
Yeah.
City third, United fourth.
See,
that may change in a couple of weeks, but the way I think now, I think that's... I'm biased. Like, I think that Liverpool will win the league every year. Actually, yeah, I'm sort of thinking with my head rather than my heart on that. With my heart would say Liverpool first. But
yeah, Chelsea are a good team, but
Chelsea have made.
I'm going to go fourth because it's all up here, like up here, and nothing down there. If you're talking about in that sense, like they've got nothing at the back, they need to sort it.
Okay, well we'll reevaluate that in a few weeks, the start of the season, and see if our minds have changed.
Definitely. We get nice one coming as always.
Anytime.
Interesting choices, Steve. Interesting choices.
I'm getting kicked off the pod now for picking Chelsea.
We'll, as always, Steve.
No
I'll see you.
See you next season.
Next season.
Yeah.
When Liverpool are going to win the league again, not Chelsea.